spoke about player discipline, and I analyzed it from a legal perspective. And one of the things I had a finding about last year was that players with discipline history, usually get about a 1 game more suspension, and if it's a repeat offender, it's a 1.5 games more. And so what I do is I track every suspension and every fine, and I'm planning on tracking incidents where there was no decision by the Department of Player Safety. But this presentation right now, it was about 3 hours ago, it was titled, Ryan Johansson Really Shouldn't Be Playing Today. And 20 minutes ago, something really perfect happened for this presentation. Ryan Johansson, I believe he had the second assist on a tying goal with a minute left. Nashville won in overtime. So now let's change the title to the entire NHL standings are tainted because Ryan Johansson was allowed to play today. So first, I'm also using this as a Twitter plug. So I call myself GoodRefs, and I've just started doing that. I actually have 9 followers, not 8, because Garrett followed me today. So if any of you are interested in anything player discipline and analytics, I've been trying to, over the past few months, trying to send something out every time there's a near incident or an incident. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so some of you probably were at the game on Friday night. I call that a VanHAC. So I have the video clip. I don't even know if I can click it from here, and I'm limited on time. So you've probably seen it. So there's Johansson's VanHAC on Branson, third period, kicked out of the game in a 5-minute major, and nothing really happened. And I mean, my understanding is if they're going to fine them, it's going to be probably the next day or the day after. I suppose it's possible he still could be fined, but I doubt it. And he wasn't suspended, and we know what happened today. So the best comparative to that, and again, I don't think we have time to show the video now, but that's Marchand, who actually takes up a large chunk of my data. So that one was, I think it was late last season, 2017. And that was watch the video later if you have a chance. It's very similar to what Johansson did. Marchand got 2 games, and obviously Marchand is a repeat offender. So in implying that to my findings last year, I sent out a tweet that I think Johansson should have been suspended for today, for 1 game. I guess if it's, I told you it's 1 game more if it's history, 1.5 more for repeat offender. So if we subtract 1.5 from 2, then I guess it's half a game, which leads you in the debate of fine or 1 game. But I think it's funner to think of this as Johansson should not have played today. And I haven't seen the highlight yet, but it looks like the second assist. I really hope he had a major role in that tying goal and in Nashville's 2 points. And just comparing it to another similar one, this was Drysdale, the playoff slasher. He wasn't suspended, but he was fined. One thing I'm going to be looking at before the playoffs, I'll probably get a tweet out, and I could do it pretty easily with my data, is are players suspended less in the playoffs? Maybe I'll throw in something about Aaron Rome there if I send out a tweet. But there's been some talk that playoff games are considered more valuable than regular season games. So maybe that's why Drysdale was only fined, but he was fined, and Johansson was not. So yeah, and then back to the Twitter plug, but. If any of you, I would highly suggest someone right now or in the next hour or two take a look at whatever Johansson did to tie up that game today. I would love to see a tweet that one of you could pull from your models or data that really shows that Johansson had a good game today, and refer back to my to my opinion that he should have been suspended today. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is Roman. Don't worry, it doesn't count for your time. Good to go?
Hello everyone. So the topic is